in our previous sidebar, Blake Lively's team has denied all of these allegations. They have responded to this filing, this lawsuit, saying,
an update on the Justin Baldoni dust up with Blake Lively. You know that Justin and his team promised to start releasing all of his correspondence with her. They're saying
the legal drama between Hollywood stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has captivated the public and ignited a firestorm of speculation, accusations, and courtroom drama. It's the type of scandal that feels tailor-made for the tabloids and social media detectives, with layers of intrigue and a cast of characters so entwined that it's nearly impossible to look away. But how do we even get here? How did a seemingly straightforward workplace dispute on the set of It Ends With Us morph into one of the most talked about celebrity feuds of the decade? Buckle up, because this story has everything. Allegations of misconduct, public smear campaigns, Hollywood power plays, and even some surprising cameos from unlikely figures.
Blake Lively's team says that in showing this video, they are blaming the victim here. They also say that they'd prefer litigating this in court rather than in the public sphere.
It all began during the production of It Ends With Us, a film adaptation of the best-selling novel by Colleen Hoover. On paper, it seemed like the perfect project. Blake Lively, a beloved actress with a squeaky clean public image, starred alongside Justin Baldoni, who not only acted in the film, but also directed and produced it through his company, Wayfarer Studios. Fans were ecstatic to see two such high-profile and talented stars coming together for a film that promised to deliver both romance and drama. But as we now know, the behind-the-scenes reality was far messier than anyone could have imagined.
You're not kidding when you say this is getting messier. The author of that book deleting her Instagram account, another who plays Baldoni's sister in the film, being harassed online.
Blake Lively's initial legal filing, which surfaced in December of 2024, sent shockwaves through Hollywood. In the complaint, Lively accused Baldoni of creating what she described as a toxic work environment during the film's production. Among her allegations were claims of inappropriate behavior, including his use of intimate scenes as a pretext for unprofessional conduct. According to Lively, Baldoni had improvised physical contact during a slow dancing scene that wasn't discussed beforehand, leaving her feeling deeply uncomfortable. She further alleged that there were no proper safeguards in place, such as an on-set intimacy coordinator, to ensure her comfort and safety. Baldoni, she claimed, had overstepped professional boundaries, and she wasn't just speaking out for herself. She alleged that other women on set had expressed similar concerns.
Creepy Baldoni. Getting close to her, obviously making small chatter not in character so as not to make the scene, which didn't require dialogue, awkward.
What made Lively's accusations even more explosive was her assertion that her attempts to address these issues were dismissed or ignored. According to her, she had raised concerns multiple times during production, but these were met with resistance or outright denial. Lively claimed that she even convened an all-hands meeting to address the alleged misconduct, a meeting that her husband, actor Ryan Reynolds, attended for support. In her complaint, she described feeling like her concerns were being swept under the rug, and she argued that this was part of a broader pattern of retaliation against women who speak up in male-dominated industries.
They believe that it's a continuation of the smear campaign that Blake initially claims happened while they were promoting the film.
But if Lively thought her allegations would be taken at face value, she was sorely mistaken. Justin Baldoni and his legal team fired back with ferocity. Baldoni, who has long cultivated an image as a progressive, family-oriented figure in Hollywood, vehemently denied the accusations. His lawyer, Brian Friedman, dismissed Lively's claims as completely false, outrageous, and intentionally salacious. In a bold countermove, Baldoni filed his own lawsuit against Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and her publicist, Leslie Sloan, accusing them of defamation and civil extortion. The lawsuit alleged that Lively and her team had concocted a false narrative to damage Baldoni's reputation and exert control over the narrative surrounding the film. And then things really got messy. Baldoni's team accused Lively of leveraging her considerable celebrity clout to orchestrate a smear campaign against him. According to Baldoni's complaint, Lively had allegedly conspired with her husband and publicist to plant negative stories in the media and manipulate public perception in her favor. The lawsuit even referenced a December 2024 article in the New York Times, which detailed Lively's allegations against Baldoni. Baldoni claimed the article was part of a deliberate effort to bury him and his career, and he responded by suing the publication for defamation in a separate case.
Now you have two sides here, right? So Baldoni says this was all an effort to hijack the film to get her way. Lively claims she was the victim of harassment in a hostile work environment.
What makes this entire saga even more fascinating is the sheer complexity of the allegations being lobbed back and forth. For every claim Lively has made against Baldoni, he and his team have countered with a detailed rebuttal. Take the infamous slow dancing scene. For example, Lively's legal filing described it as a moment where Baldoni crossed professional boundaries, improvising physical contact that she had not consented to. In response, Baldoni's team released raw footage from the set, arguing that the video disproved her claims. The footage showed Baldoni and Lively rehearsing the scene, with both actors appearing comfortable and engaged in the moment. Baldoni's team argued that the scene was well within the scope of the film's narrative and that Lively's discomfort only seemed to surface much later, after the fact.
New video released by lawyers for actor Justin Baldoni showed unedited footage from the filming of It Ends With Us.
But Lively's legal team wasn't about to let Baldoni's side take control of the narrative. In a scathing statement, they argued that the footage actually bolstered Lively's claims. They pointed out moments where Baldoni appeared to lean in toward Lively, touch her face, and kiss her forehead without any visible direction or consent. They described her body language as defensive and argued that her discomfort was evident to anyone who has experienced unwanted physical contact in a professional setting. Every frame of the released footage corroborates, to the letter, what Ms. Lively described in her complaint. Her lawyers said, "And therein lies the central tension of this feud. Both sides are convinced they have the receipts to prove their case, and neither is willing to back down. This has turned the legal battle into a public spectacle, with both parties releasing carefully curated pieces of evidence to sway public opinion. It's not just a courtroom fight. It's a battle for the hearts and minds of fans, industry insiders, and potential jurors."
Shutting down a woman's claims.
She is claiming that there was harassment. He's saying none of it is true, never happened, never did.
Enter Candace Owens, the conservative commentator known for her polarizing opinions. Owens recently waded into the controversy, blasting Lively's claims as an unbelievable number of lies. In her usual fiery style, Owens accused Lively of weaponizing her emotions to manipulate public perception. She described the actress's legal filings as a boat full of lies and suggested that Lively's approach was more about crafting a compelling narrative than presenting hard evidence. "It's about taking sensitive feelings and turning them into a mountain out of a molehill," Owens said, echoing the skepticism many have expressed about the case. Owens wasn't alone in her criticism. Legal experts and public commentators have also scrutinized Lively's filings, pointing out what they believe are glaring inconsistencies. For example, Lively claimed that Baldoni's actions during the slow dancing scene were unprofessional and made her uncomfortable, yet court documents indicate that an intimacy coordinator was available on set. Baldoni's team has argued that Lively had access to this resource but chose not to use it, a detail that they say undermines her claims.
First and foremost, I should tell you that I have a major scoop regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, their newest legal plan, or something that they were.
And then there's the issue of subpoenas. Lively's legal team has aggressively pursued subpoenas for phone records, emails, and other communications from Baldoni and his associates, arguing that these will expose the full extent of the alleged smear campaign against her. But this strategy has drawn criticism for being overly invasive. Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, described the subpoenas as a fishing expedition and accused Lively's team of using the legal process as a weapon to harass and intimidate. "What is extraordinary is what the Lively parties are seeking," Friedman said. "They are asking for every single call, text, data log, and even real-time location information for the past 25 years. The public, too, has weighed in, with social media becoming a battleground for both sides. Hashtags like Blake Lively Lies and Team Baldoni have trended, with users sharing their thoughts on the case. One fan commented, "Seems Lively has a big full mouth of lies. Didn't realize she's a dangerous drama queen." Another added, "Her lawyers lied about the scope of the subpoenas. They literally lied, but everyone could get in trouble for making that accusation." On the flip side, Lively supporters have rallied around her, praising her for taking a stand and refusing to be silenced.
And we're now all paying attention. So I'm just going to very quickly, before I give you all of the tea that I got over the weekend, I'm going to go over the biggest revelations from the filing.
It's hard to overstate just how high the stakes are in this case. For Lively, her reputation as a champion for women's rights and workplace equality is on the line. For Baldoni, his career and carefully cultivated public image as a socially conscious filmmaker hang in the balance. And for the rest of us, this legal trauma serves as a fascinating, if slightly unsettling, glimpse into the messy, high-stakes world of Hollywood power dynamics.
Yes, this is exactly what I want, a puppy to kick in the mouth. And you'll do what I say. So I'm going to show you these exchanges. This is Ryan Reynolds.
The drama surrounding Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni is like a runaway train picking up passengers, tension, and controversy as it hurtles toward what feels like an inevitable collision. But what makes this story so irresistible isn't just the courtroom battles or the conflicting narratives. It's the way every twist and turn seems to bring new players into the spotlight. From Hollywood insiders to PR experts, social media influencers, and now even late-night comedy shows, this feud is no longer confined to the legal system. It's a full-blown cultural spectacle, and everyone has an opinion.
Genuinely Steph, if you're watching this, I genuinely don't like Blake Lively. Like, I genuinely know, I've known she's a brat. Nobody's paying me to say this.
Let's talk about one of the most eyebrow-raising developments in this saga, the role of Saturday Night Live. You'd think a decades-old sketch comedy show wouldn't have much to do with a legal battle between two A-listers, but somehow it's managed to insert itself into the narrative. It all started when Ryan Reynolds, Lively's husband, appeared on SNL during its star-studded anniversary episode. What should have been a lighthearted moment quickly turned into a PR battlefield. Reynolds, known for his sharp wit and quick humor, delivered a joke that many interpreted as a direct jab at Baldoni. The line, which reportedly drew laughter from the audience, was subtle enough to fly under the radar for some, but pointed enough to set social media ablaze. Fans and critics alike debated whether the joke was an inappropriate dig at an ongoing legal matter, or simply another example of Reynolds using humor as a coping mechanism.
Now, I will say, it is also interesting that the defendants in this answer also admit that they sent text messages. I mean, when Lively produced copies of these text messages that she got through a subpoena, there's really nowhere else to go on that. You got to admit that you sent these, but it doesn't mean that Baldoni and the other defendants will agree to the context or the characterization that was laid out by Blake Lively, for instance.
But it didn't stop there. Behind-the-scenes footage from the SNL taping revealed what lip readers claim was a tense exchange between Lively and comedian Amy Schumer. The clip, which made its way onto TikTok and racked up millions of views, seemingly showed Schumer making a comment about the ongoing lawsuit, to which Lively responded with an expression that could only be described as icy. Of course, without audio, it's all speculation, but that hasn't stopped fans from dissecting every frame of the video as if they were forensic experts.
Did you see Blake's reaction? She looked furious, one commenter wrote.
Another added, Amy clearly said something about the case. You can tell Blake wasn't having it. And then there's the bombshell revelation from SNL's very own cue card handler, who spilled the tea during an interview with an Australian radio show. According to him, the infamous joke wasn't originally part of the script. It was added by Reynolds himself. That line about Justin Baldoni? Yeah, that was all Ryan, he said. If true, this revelation adds another layer of complexity to the situation. Was Reynolds simply trying to lighten the mood, or was this a calculated move to shift public perception in favor of Lively? Either way, it's clear that the couple isn't shying away from using every platform at their disposal to make their case, whether it's in the courtroom or on national television.
If you look at this scene that was captured on tape, you'll see there's nothing nefarious going on. She says this actually proves her point. There's an argument that she is hiding her discomfort with what he's saying and doing, and she's just trying to finish the scene like any kind of professional. Which way you take it, which way you perceive it, again, that'll be up to a jury or the...
But if Reynolds and Lively thought their SNL appearance would help their cause, the public reaction suggests it may have backfired. Critics slammed the couple for treating a serious legal matter as fodder for comedy, accusing them of being tone-deaf and out of touch. One particularly scathing comment on Reddit read, "You're telling me that if your wife was actually dealing with this kind of harassment, you'd be making jokes about it on live TV. Give me a break." Even some of Lively's supporters admitted that the move is risky. "I love Blake, but this wasn't the time or place for jokes," one fan tweeted. "It makes her look less credible." Meanwhile, Baldoni's camp wasted no time capitalizing on the SNL debacle. His lawyer, Brian Friedman, issued a statement condemning the couple's actions, calling them a transparent attempt to distract from the facts of the case. Friedman also hinted that Reynolds' joke could be used as evidence in court to demonstrate the alleged smear campaign against Baldoni. "This isn't just about what was said, it's about the message they're sending," he said. "They're trying to paint my client as the villain in the court of public opinion, and it's unacceptable." And speaking of smear campaigns, let's dive into the issue of subpoenas, which has become another flashpoint in this feud. Lively's legal team has been relentless in their pursuit of evidence, issuing subpoenas to phone carriers, internet providers, and even Baldoni's associates. The goal, to uncover what they claim is irrefutable proof of a coordinated effort to tarnish Lively's reputation. According to her lawyers, these records will expose the people, tactics, and methods behind the alleged smear campaign, providing a clear timeline of when, where, and how it all unfolded.
And he says, look, this is just, Hollywood is based on pure fear, cultivated by both of them and their very powerful friends in entertainment.
But Baldoni's team isn't having it. Friedman has described the subpoenas as a massive fishing expedition, accusing Lively's lawyers of overstepping their bounds. They're asking for every single call, text, and even real-time location data from the past 2.5 years. This is an outrageous invasion of privacy, and it's completely unnecessary. Baldoni's camp has filed motions to quash the subpoenas, arguing that they're more about harassment than uncovering the truth.
But yeah, it's just getting super nasty, and it seems like he's not cowering to this attempted gag order.
Yeah, I don't really understand Blake Lively's point here.
Public opinion on this issue is as divided as ever. On one side, you have Lively supporters who see the subpoenas as a necessary step to hold Baldoni accountable. If he has nothing to hide, why is he so worried about these records? On the other side, Baldoni's defenders argue that the requests are excessive and invasive. This is just Blake trying to dig up dirt. It's not about justice, it's about revenge. And handling it carefully is easier said than done, especially when every move is scrutinized by millions. Case in point, Lively's recent decision to take a step back from the spotlight. Since filing her lawsuit in December, she's largely stayed out of the public eye, skipping major events like the Critics' Choice Awards and the Super Bowl. While some see this as a smart move to avoid further controversy, others interpret it as a sign that she's feeling the pressure.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are seeking to dismiss Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit against them.
As for Baldoni, he's taken a different approach, doubling down on his public defense. In addition to releasing raw footage from the set of It Ends With Us, he's launched a website dedicated to telling his side of the story. The site features a timeline of events, links to legal documents, and even a section debunking what Baldoni's team calls myths about the case. It's a bold move, but one that could backfire if it's seen as overly aggressive or self-serving. As the legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni continues to unfold, it's clear that this Hollywood drama is far from over. The questions remain: do you believe Lively's allegations of misconduct, or do you think Baldoni's counterclaims hold more weight? How do you think this high-stakes feud will ultimately play out in the court of public opinion? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more celebrity gossip and updates.